Hello everybody, my name is Dean. Welcome to Books and Quirks. Today is Friday, so it's time for a Friday Reads. I know I missed a week and I'm sorry about that, but I really enjoyed my week or 2 weeks since my last video of reading, and I finally finished those very long audiobooks that I was listening to, so I'm very happy. And I hope the lighting is okay. It's extremely cloudy out, but hopefully I'm not too dark. But you know, you can only do what you can do. So I hope you're all having a lovely week and enjoying, hopefully wherever you are, it's a little bit warmer spring weather, which is always nice. It's just been kind of lovely most days. Like I said, it's a little cloudy today, but otherwise, you know, it's been really nice. And yeah, let me just get right into it and tell you about the books that I finished and the books that I'm currently reading. So I'm going to go through these pretty quickly because there are a few, but the first book that I finished was Girl the Savoy by Hazel Gaynor. I spoke about this a little bit on my last video, but I did finish it. I absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 stars. This takes place in the 1920s, and it follows a young girl who's working as a maid in the Savoy Hotel, the famed Savoy Hotel in London. And you know, it kind of goes back and forth of her experiences during the war and in 1923 in her work in the Savoy Hotel. And you know, she has dreams of becoming, you know, of being on stage and being an actor and a dancer, and she hopes to pursue those dreams. She's very young. I think it doesn't specifically say her age, I don't think, in the book, or I can't remember, but she's in her early 20s, I believe. So like I said, I was able to finish 2 audiobooks, and the first one was Hamilton by Rob Chernow. I'm sure you're tired of hearing me talk about this book, so I won't that much. It's just that I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars, although I think it's more like a 4.5. I really can't fault it all that much. It was just so enjoyable. I absolutely loved it. It was just extremely long. So I'm glad that I finished that. The other audiobook that I finished was Washington Black, and I'm just looking down to see the author, by Essie Edugan. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but I will put a picture. I'm sure I did not say that right. But this is a book that I read as part of a buddy read. I read it with Shaun of On the Stoop and Mel of Mel's Bookland Adventures, and I will put all of this information in the description below. But this follows a young slave in the Caribbean. His name is Washington Black, obviously, George Washington Black, and it follows his experiences as he sort of becomes an apprentice to, you know, an inventor of sorts. I don't really want to get too much into this book. I really didn't enjoy it that much. I felt like, you know, this book was more of a book that seemed more like scenes in a life rather than a continuous story. I felt very disconnected from it, which is such a shame because I was really looking forward to this, and you know, I thought it would be quite a moving read, as other books that I've read, you know, that have to do with the same subject in the past. This book just didn't do it for me, and unfortunately I just never felt anything for the characters, or there was very much a lack of description, so you couldn't even picture anything, or at least I couldn't. But I would really encourage you, rather than me talking about it and giving it such a low opinion, I would really look at other reviews, because this book is highly rated. And you know, there are a lot of booktubers out there that rate it very, very high, and I would really listen to their opinions more if you're thinking of giving this book a try. But for me personally, it just didn't work. So currently I'm in the middle of 3 different books. So the first book that I'm reading is Anne of Cleves by Alison Weir. This is a NetGalley book, and I'm buddy reading it with Candace over at Beacon Hill Books. And we've been buddy reading this series because Alison Weir is writing a series of the 6 wives of Henry VIII. And We're now on the 4th book, Anne of Cleves, so she's the 4th wife of Henry VIII. And Alison Weir, you know, I've spoken about her in the past. I just adore her. I love her so much. It's just, you know, her writing is just so, it flows so easily, and you can easily get lost in the story. You know, I can read Alison Weir for hours and I won't even realize how much time has gone by. You know, I feel like I'm there in the story and I'm witnessing everything. And I absolutely adore it. I just love it. And I adore reading with all of these booktubers that I mentioned. So Candace and I are reading Anne of Cleves. We are currently about 2/3 maybe of the way through. We have a few more days of buddy reading to go because we're taking it a little bit slow, reading just a couple chapters a day. But yeah, it's nice to savor it. And Alison Weir is always really great because at the end of the book she leaves an author's note and she explains, you know, what's factual and what where she took liberties, because this is a historical fiction. So I absolutely love it, and I just can't wait to continue on. So I'll leave my opinion once I finish it, once I finish the entirety of the book, but right now we're just making our way through it. So the next book that I'll be reading, I just started yesterday, and that is East of the Sun by Julia Gregson. This book is takes place, it's a Reading Through the Ages book. I picked it because it fits the box, the bingo card box, of a book that takes place in India during the British reign, during the English, when the English ruled it. So I don't know if that's the right wording, but it's during the English occupation, I guess. And this takes place in Bombay in 1928. So this book mainly follows one character who is on her way to Bombay, and she is in charge of bringing 3 others. So she's sort of a chaperone to 3 others as she's escorting them to Bombay. She's a very young woman in her 20s, but it says Vivia Holloway has been entrusted to watch over 3 unsettling charges. There's Rose, as beautiful as she is naive, who plans to marry a cavalry officer she has met a mere handful of times. Then there's her bridesmaid, Victoria, who is hell-bent on losing her virginity en route before finding a husband of her own. And shadowing them all is the malevolent presence of a disturbed schoolboy named Guy Clover. So I already read the first 2 chapters and I could tell that I'm going to enjoy this. I like the writing already, and I just can't wait to get more into this, and I will tell you what I think of it after I finish. It's quite a chunky book. It's about 600 pages, so hopefully I'll be able to finish this during the week. And the last book that I'm reading, I'm listening to on audio, and that is Michelle Obama's Becoming. This is her first published novel, and it's sort of, you know, her experiences growing up, her experiences during the White House, and, you know, everything in between. So I'm really, I've only just begun it. I'm only about 20 chapters in, and there's, you know, 160 or something like that chapters, but the chapters are not long at all. They're very, very, very short. It's not, you know, a humongous book, but yeah, I'm really eager to get more into this. And you know, politics aside, I just like Michelle Obama, and I love to hear her voice and her thoughts. So that is all I have for you. Those are the books that I finished, the books that I am currently reading. I hope you all are having a good week. I hope you all have some good plans for the weekend, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye.